A new month, a new list of games for PlayStation Plus, Xbox, and PC Game Pass subscribers to check out. We've got the rundown of everything you can look forward to in August.
And do you ever miss the Multiverses online fighting game? Well, good news, there's a new character fighter headed this way. We're going to talk about all this stuff and so much more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest things happening in the video game industry. You can check us out on Fruit Lab, YouTube, podcast services everywhere. Just type in three little letters, baby, GNW, and that's going to get you up to date with everything happening out there. My name is E-Rock the Red. I'm joined every week by this gentleman right here. Full clip. What's the haps, dude?
What's up? Doing good, E-Rock. Hoping that the power stays on for our entire recording because we've got some storms rolling through. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear that through the microphone or not, but I just hear thunder and lightning crazy.
Is it raining real bad over there? Just
off and on.
Lightning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, hopefully, no issues. Knock on wood. No, you get tornadoes out that way?
Yeah, sometimes. It's been a little while, though.
Okay, well, that's good. Although it would be cool.
That means we're due for one.
Yeah. Not that I want this to happen, but it would be cool if I see like a tornado just come whipping in and like you go like spinning around and then fly up in the air.
Oh, yeah. It'll be like fun. The Wicked Witch of the West just in my gamer chair.
Yeah. Yo, we would finally get a lot of eyes on this show, though. I tell you, we need something big like that to happen to boost us.
If somebody could crash a car through the wall behind me or something like that.
Yeah, tell your wife to drive into the wall while we're recording. This is a great idea. I'm gonna make a note for this for next time, or I could, something could happen, like a bee's nest could just like fall on my head or something. This could be cool.
Pack of wild dogs through the back door.
Oh yeah, good idea. All good notes. What have you been up to? Anything exciting?
It's been a slow week for me. I haven't really played anything new. Just falling back on the new Gunsmith Simulator and Car Mechanic Simulator.
You're just in there just simulating everything.
I am.
Yeah, work simulator, sleep simulator. Yes. You're not doing anything. You're just playing games. I gotcha. I'm same way, man. I haven't played anything new, which is a good thing. Like, I'm not jumping into the next thing. I'm still playing a bunch of Dave the Diver, and I got a lot more into Remnant from the Ashes, the first version of the Remnant series, and I'm having a blast with it. It's a really good, just like shooter type game, and it's intended to be played co-op, but I'm playing it by myself because that's how I roll, dude. Lone wolf, and it's still very good. So I recommend it.
Now, are you playing that to get revved up for Remnant 2?
That was so I got it in not last month. I think 2 months ago. The Humble Bundle Choice. Are you familiar with the Humble Bundle Choice?
Yeah.
Man, best deal going on right now. Like it's $11, I think. And you every month you get, 8 new games through Steam, and it's great too. A little tipski. Because it's a subscription thing, they just send you the new one. If you opt out and say no, I don't want this month, they'll be like, "Are you sure?" And then you're like, "Yeah, I'm sure. I don't want this one." And they're like, "How about you get it for $8?" Oh. And then I'm like, dude, I've done it every month.
Wow.
And you get it for $8. And for that, it's $1 game. And one of the games I got was Remnant. And I finally got around to installing it and playing it because of leading up to Remnant 2. Now, by the time I finish this first one, Remnant 2 is going to be, maybe that'll be in the next Humble Choice.
Oh, yeah.
It's slow going. But yeah, it's and for everything I've heard, and we'll get into it in the new releases, Remnant 2 is a much better game. So.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, this is a great segue. Should we just get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's talk about our new releases from last week. All right, Remnant 2 came out July 25th on PC, PS5, and Xbox X and S. So yeah, it's a third-person shooter, but it's like a Souls-like. The first one was a lot of times said like Dark Souls with guns, and I'm feeling that. It's very similar mechanics as far as like when you rest, it heals you, but it brings all the enemies back. There's a very limited amount of healing, upgrades, rolling, all that sort of stuff. And in this new one, everything I'm hearing about it is it's just everything from the original one is just so much better. Every little thing about it. So it's like they have procedurally generated enemies in the world, and you could be playing you and your friend could be playing the same game. We could both be playing Remnant 2 and have very different experiences because of how they're procedurally generated. But it's still got like tons of different enemies, like huge boss battles, very similar to like a Souls-like. You could play it by yourself or with two other people, and it's really just this one is really leaning into the looter shooter kind of vibe. I'm hearing it compared to Borderlands more so this time around because it's got a really deep like inventory system, like tons of weapons and loot that you can get, and there's 4 archetypes that you could choose from right at the start. There's a medic, a tank, a hunter, and a handler, and then as you play the game, you like unlock like countless other ones, and you could constantly switch between whatever archetype best suits the gameplay. So yeah, it sounds really cool, man. Like I definitely want to get it. I think it's only like $50 too, and then it's been on sale since it came out. So yeah, it's on the list. Who knows when I'll get to it, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like a cool feature for like a party game like that, a co-op game. Because usually if you're playing something like World of Warcraft, you're kind of locked into that character. And if you haven't been playing it for years, you're stuck there. So if the people you're trying to play with don't need a tank, but you're a tank, got to go find somebody else to play with.
Right. And I was reading that like there's a point where you could have like 2 different archetypes at once and use the skills from both. It was a review I read. Maybe it was an IGN review, but they were saying that he played as the hunter, which is like you can have like a sniper rifle and that sort of thing, and you can mark your enemies. And then as a second archetype, he got a handler, which allows you to have like a dog or some sort of friendly pet thing. And he said he just sent out the dog to like keep them busy while he just stood in the back and just like blasted them with the sniper rifle. And I was
Nice.
like, that's really cool. I like the sound of that. It sounds like fun. So yeah, it's on the wish list. One of these days, I'll be playing Remnant 2. Another one that came out, Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons. Gaiden. It's Gaiden, right? Like Ninja Gaiden. Do you say Gaiden or Gaiden?
I've always said Ninja Gaiden,
Okay.
but
All right.
I'm probably completely wrong.
Who knows? Right into the show. Send it to P.O. Box go F yourself. This came out July 27th on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, XS, and Nintendo Switch. Whew, this is a title. That's a long title. All you got to know, the brothers are back, baby. The Double Dragon boys are back, beating them up in the classic style. This one, I guess it's more, I've heard it called a roguelite, in that there are upgrades that you can choose from as you progress through the game, and it changes the way the game is played. But yeah, you got a bunch of characters in this one. There's 4 starter characters that you could choose from, and 9 more that you can get. It's got 2-player local co-op. Yeah, and then it's just that classic style. It's got the pixel art like graphics. It looks good. I'm hoping to play this one at some point too. I really growing up, Double Dragon was the shit. That was, it was such a fun game, and it was a game that like I could play with my brother, You know, when we were like, so we didn't have to fight for it. We would just run through and just, you know, we would fight then when someone would drop the nunchucks though, and then we would have to like I wanted the nunchucks. No, I want the nunchucks, and it was a whole thing then, you know. But
that's how it was back in those days.
Yeah, classic. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, it looks interesting. I really wasn't into the Double Dragon games back in the day. It's just a tiny bit before my time.
I almost did a spit take, dude. Who doesn't like a nice side-scrolling beat 'em up?
Well, yeah, that's the thing about those days. You either like had it at your rental place or you didn't. So harder to get your hands on a lot of games back then.
Right, yeah. I mean, we were going to the arcade. Did you still go to arcades when you were? Do you have arcades out by you?
No. There was like one arcade, but in the days of Dance Dance Revolution, so much later.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I remember playing like this is making me sound really old, but yeah, playing the first like Mortal Kombat at the arcade, playing like, you know, Pong. We were playing Pong out there. It was like you know, it was like 8 feet. The computer was at like 8 feet long.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that old. How dare you? First of all, how dare you? All right. And then lastly, The Expanse, a Telltale series. They're back. The Telltale is back. This is their first time, or their first new game since they, you know, failed and had to pack it up, and yeah, now they're back.
You're a big fan of this series, aren't you?
Oh man, I love Telltale stuff. I love The Expanse. You ever watch The Expanse?
No.
So it's based on a book series. It's a big series. There's a lot of books, and it's a very, very deep, like sci-fi. And now there's a show. There's a show called The Expanse, and based on those books. Now this game is based on the show. It's a prequel to the television series, and you play as this character, Kamina Drummer, who was featured on the first season of the show. So fans of the series will recognize, you know, what's going on, and there's some Easter eggs and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just happy. I'm happy it's back. So you know, if you're not familiar with the Telltale series, they did tons of them during the height of popularity of Telltale. They were doing everything: Batman, Walking Dead, you know, just all this stuff. But so yeah, this is another one. It's episodic, 5 episodes every 2 weeks. You play an episode, and this time they've said though they're ready. They're like they've got them ready to go 2 weeks at a time. Before, I think they just bit off more than they could chew when they were so popular, and they were putting out the episodes. They were making them like when it was supposed to be like coming out. It was crazy, you know. And it wasn't working. They were glitchy. They were very often late, or sometimes didn't come out at all. Yeah. So hopefully they'll have turned it all around, and this will be the first of a big comeback for the Telltale people.
Hopefully so. I mean,
yeah.
I was really upset when I finally figured out that like everything that says Telltale Games on it was that sort of Press X narrative-driven thing, because I was really into The Walking Dead at that time, and I'm like, a Walking Dead video game? Cool. Let me download this.
And you didn't like it?
No.
Just you need more action.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the style of game that I was expecting before I knew what the Telltale series were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you never went back? You never went back to it?
No.
I mean, dude, I'm just gonna put this out there. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, it is a great story. It's even something just sit in the room and you could just watch like your significant other play it or something, or take turns, because it's just a fun story, and you get to make the choices. You get to be a part of it. You know what I mean? But so we'll see how this one is. My wife's a huge fan of The Expanse, so we'll probably be getting this one real soon. All right, that's it for our new releases. There were a few other ones that came out this week too. So there was like a new Disney game coming to Nintendo Switch, bunch of other ones. So yeah, it was a good week. When lately we've just been having like nothing come out, you know.
Yeah.
So all right, let's let's switch gears and talk about our news of the week. All right, first up, it's the X Station Game Plus Pass Plus Minute here at Gaming News Weekly, where we talk about all the announcements for PlayStation Plus and Game Pass. First up, the PlayStation Plus games for August were announced, and they got me a little excited. So first up, Dreams, Death's Door, and PGA 2K23 are coming starting August 1st. Now, Dreams is one that, man, I think I almost bought this like a bunch of times. When I see, like, you ever see the shit that people make in this game?
Yeah, I actually did buy this one.
You do? Yeah. Oh man. So you have experience with it then? Give it to me.
Yeah.
Tell me the deets.
Okay, so this is made by Media Molecule.
Yeah.
Getting that right? And that's the people who make Sackboy, Little Big Planet, those games, in which they always leave a lot of, like, this Mario Maker style flexibility in there for people to make their own thing. But Dreams is like a game and animation engine of its own. You can't really export your games. They finally gave people a way to export movies out of it, but you're able to just go into this engine and do anything you want, set up a complete video game if you wanted to, and then they make it really easy for you to explore other people's dreams. That's what each creation is called.
Sure, okay.
So I never got really deep into that. I just made like some simple things because it's kind of like a 3D modeling program. I made, for instance, a shower drain. And then I uploaded that shower drain. And then a bunch of other people downloaded the shower drain. And I could see their dreams that they used my shower drain in, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that is very cool. Nice. Yeah, I've always watched, like, people's creations, like, video games that they made or just, like you said, just videos. And it's insane what people have made. I've seen, like, parts of Jurassic Park created in Dreams and, like, just other games. Like, people created, like, I think Final Fantasy in Dreams and, like, all this stuff where it's just like, holy cow. I think that part, like, the creation part is done now, right? I think they got rid of that.
I think you can still do it. They just aren't going to support it, and no new stuff is going to come out. And unfortunately, that stuff is kind of locked in there. So I guess if you were to create something new, you could still share, like, your dream code online with somebody else, and they could go view that. But there's no way, if they're not going to support it, I don't think there's a good way for anybody to find your stuff anymore.
Gotcha. Okay. But they did announce that they are releasing a new game. Media Molecule created a new game called Tren, and that'll be available to play when this does get released on the PlayStation Plus. So that's pretty cool. That one is a nostalgic adventure that puts you in the driving seat of a remarkable toy train and tells a personal tale about growing up and the transformative power of play. So, yeah, I'm excited to get this one. I think I think there's going to be a lot of things that I can find for my kid to, like, mess around with, So, yeah, that'll be fun. And then the other one's Death's Door. I played that one on Game Pass. That's a fantastic game. This one, Death's Door, expertly blends classic dungeon puzzle solving with fast-paced combat encounters to create a memorable adventure across a moody world, brimming with secret paths and hidden rewards. And then PGA Tour 2K3, golf. That's golf.
Yeah, what's that one about? Roguelite.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure there is probably some, story mode or something where you play as Tiger Woods' wife.
Oh.
It's much bigger adventure. And then it was also recently announced that Sea of Stars is a new turn-based role-playing game. It's coming out as day one on PlayStation Plus, so that will be August 29th. That will be coming to PlayStation Plus, as well as its day one game on Game Pass.
Yeah, this one looked good.
Yeah, classic, very much a classic, little sprites, turn-based RPG, But yeah, it looks fantastic. It's about the story of two children of the solstice who combine the powers of the sun and moon to perform eclipse magic, the only force capable of fending off the monstrous creations of the evil alchemist known as the Fleshmancer. Ooh, Fleshmancer sounds exciting. So yeah, that's pretty cool that it's just going to be available pretty much for everybody who subscribes to any of these, these streaming services.
Yeah.
And then Game Pass announced their the second wave of games coming to Game Pass in July. Out now, Tectonica, Toem, The Cave, Maquette, Figment 2, Creed Valley, The Wandering Village, Serious Sam, Siberian Mayhem, and then July 31st, Venba comes out, and then August 1st, Celeste returns to Game Pass. Any of these got you feeling excited?
Yeah, I actually look further into the Wandering Village because on the surface it got me, and then when I looked into it, I'll be playing that game.
Sure.
So
yeah,
it's
that
like
one. I thought about you when I saw that one too. I'm like, oh, here we go. You got to, giant creatures, and you get to create things.
Yeah. Well, I watched like a gameplay breakdown, and so it's a city builder. And there are a lot of city builders out there, but what makes this one unique is that you're building on the back of a giant animal, and this giant animal is like moving from point A to point B at all times, and it might walk through a toxic gas cloud, it might walk through a tornado, it might walk from like a nice springy area to a desert, and that's all going to affect what you have to do in your village.
Yeah. And I did see that you form like a symbiotic relationship with this creature. So like if you help it out, maybe it does stuff for you or whatever. It's a really cool idea for a game. I'd be interested to it's not my cup of tea, but I'll watch whatever video you put out with that on there. For me, I'm excited about this Venba. It's a day one game to Game Pass. And it says it's a short narrative cooking game where you play as an Indian mom who immigrates to Canada with her family in the 1980s. Players will cook various dishes and restore lost recipes, hold branching conversations that explore in this story about family, love, loss, and more. Yeah, it sounds different. I love food-based games, and I've always wanted to play a game where I'm an Indian mom.
Well, it sounds like you're going to learn a lot about the culture there, and in which I'm kind of wondering, are you going to learn like recipes or different styles of cooking there, which I'd be interested in.
Dude, I'll be making so much cool stuff afterwards. I'll do my own thing. But yeah, and it's set in the 80s in Canada. Man, it's just got everything. Everything you really need in life is available. And then real quick, while we're talking about Xbox, the Xbox is getting it's getting a facelift, getting an updated UI. Some people may have it. I do not have the new UI yet. I don't know if maybe I need to do a restart or something, but I went on today and I was looking for it, and it's still the same one. But Microsoft says the new UI makes it easier to discover new games, rediscover games you already love, connect with communities, and create a more personalized experience. Highlights include the addition of a quick access menu, more space for your personalized background, and the option to change your background to match the game you highlight in the recently played list. It definitely looks a lot like nicer. But I know people are complaining about one feature, and is that it's there's a tab and it says most played games, but it's not your most played games. And that's what they're upset about, that it's the community's most played games. So, just video game people getting upset about anything they can. But yeah, that's that's another thing. So it has these little brackets on there and it shows like these lists that are curated and personalized for each person. And, that's one of them. And then there's also an updated friends and community row, and then a new watch and listen spotlight, which shows you which media apps and content are available. So, yeah, it's rolling out across the world. So you may have it, you may not. Who knows? Who knows? No one knows. What am I? Someone that tells you things that you don't know?
Oh, you psychic.
All right, good news for everybody who is upset by the untimely passing of Multiverses, the online Warner Brothers fighting game. There's a new Smash Brothers clone in town, and it is Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, coming later this year to the Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, XS, and PC. This is a sequel to the 2021 4-player, it's basically like the Smash Brothers Melee game where you play as your favorite Nickelodeon characters. Now it's back. Yeah. Did you ever play the first one?
I seriously thought about picking it up, but the biggest criticism I heard was that it was a little bare because you didn't have like items to pick up and throw, which is a big part of Smash Brothers. And it does, if all you're doing is kicking each other, it sounds like it would get pretty old fast.
Yeah, I agree with that. I never tried this one because Multiverses was on the horizon at that point. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait. I'm a bigger fan of like the Warner Brothers characters, the DC Comics stuff over the Nickelodeon characters, and then that really, that shit the bed. And who knows if that's even coming back? Like it's pretty much like it's indefinite now. I think it will, but if it'll have the momentum still, especially with games like Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 coming out. But yeah, this one says. The developer Game Mill, they promised bigger, better, and more. More characters, more stages, and more modes, plus a new campaign, full crossplay for all platforms, voice acting for every playable character, new minigames, improved graphics, and more. So, more, bigger, more, and better, and more. There is in the single-player campaign, you'll be trying to stop the Vlad Plasmius. He's the Danny Phantom villain. You're going to stop him from conquering the Nickelodeon universe. And this gameplay will also now include new supers, which, as the name suggests, are ultra powerful moves that can swing the match in your favor if used strategically. So, yeah. Were you a Nickelodeon kid?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of these are a little newer than when I was a Nickelodeon kid. Like Danny Phantom. I sort of avoided most of that Butch Hartman series of cartoons after Fairly Odd Parents.
Gotcha. Is there a Nickelodeon character that you... who's the first one you're going to play on this game?
If they have Rocco, I'm playing Rocco.
I did see Rocco in the screenshots. So, yeah, that one. You get your Squidward, your Patrick, SpongeBob, all those classics. Yeah, it'll be exciting to see who is in the game. They're going to be announcing more in the months to come up to its release sometime later this year. And then, if that's not enough character-based multiplayer games for you, well, good news. DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing was also announced coming later this year. So this is a kart game. They had one in 2011 called DreamWorks Superstar Karts that was out on the 360 and the PlayStation 3, and now there's a new one coming out where you can play as Shrek, the Boss Baby. You can play as the characters from Kung Fu Panda. Now, how do you feel about DreamWorks?
I like this. I just don't know everything under their umbrella. I mean, Shrek's cool. Sure. I know most of those titles by name, but I don't really know the characters.
Yeah.
Puss in Boots, that'll be pretty cool. I'm interested in seeing how they put their personality into the carts and into the moves and stuff like that. That's always the coolest part.
Yeah, sure. Oh, absolutely. Donkey. That'll do, donkey. Yeah, that's my classic Shrek impression, right? That was a good one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited to see. These are always fun. Like, there's not enough fun games out there in the world, and you get to race around as Shrek and just run over some like trolls. I think the trolls are in there. Madagascar characters.
Yeah, truth be told, I'm still waiting to play that Fox Animation Domination version of the kart racing.
Yeah. I forgot. I was supposed to play that and report back. I forgot. I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna put it with the drop beehive on head note. Yeah. So this one, it's gonna have 20 playable characters. Each has their own unique kart. to race alongside customization options. And then it's going to have familiar locations inspired by DreamWorks animation films like The Kingdom of Far, Far Away from Shrek, Bergen Town from Trolls, Spirit Realm from Kung Fu Panda, Baby Corp from The Boss Baby, and New York City Zoo from Madagascar. There's 8-player online, 4-player local split screen. And then, Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda and Wolf from Puss in Boots are 2 exclusive characters in the digital deluxe edition. So, and then that's not all that DreamWorks announced. There's also a Trolls adventure game coming out called Trolls Remix Rescue. It lets you play as the characters from Trolls, as well as create, customize, and play as a troll of your very own.
Wow.
Yeah, very exciting. Both games are due out on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One XS, and PC sometime later in 2023. So, man, it's a good year to be a fan of just cartoon games.
Yeah, multiverses things.
Sure.
So, do you know if Disney has ever done like a kart racer like this?
They did. What was it called? I don't think it was very well received. And I don't think it was.
Do it right. Seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah. I don't think it was like as like fun as like something like this, like as cartoony. I'm gonna look it up. Disney kart racer. Disney Speedstorm. Does this ring a bell?
No.
So let's see. It is a hero-based racing game with, what is this, early access? Maybe it's in early access? I don't know. But yeah, you play as, like, they have, like, real cars. And it's like a real, like, it looks like a racing game. Like a
Mickey Mouse and a Corvette. That doesn't sound very fun.
Well, they're like karts, still like go-karts, but they're not like silly go-karts. They're like real, like fancy-looking go-karts.
Okay.
But it's got like, Toy Story and stuff like that. Mulan. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was received very well. But yeah, they all have like racing like jumpsuits on. Like here, look at this. You got your Mike Wazowski. Look at, they got like a racing jumpsuit on and stuff. Not as cool.
It's everything I wanted. Yeah, that's not as cool because like here I'm seeing Shrek. His car is made out of like mossy swamp logs and stuff. Yeah, that's what we want is personality.
Yeah, just boogers and shit. That's what like like ogres.
It's holding it together. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I always love about Shrek. He's just like the cartoon embodiment of me, where I just live in my own slop and I'm just shirtless and just a mess. All right. San Diego Comic-Con was last week. There was a few video game adjacent things that were announced. There was a Spider-Man themed PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 controller that was announced to coincide with the release of the game. A new trailer for the Spider-Man game. But the most important thing, Mortal Kombat 1, the DLC, the characters were made official. So we talked about it briefly before, but yeah, Homelander, Peacemaker, and Omni-Man will appear as guest characters in Mortal Kombat 1. J.K. Simmons is reprising his role of Omni-Man, so that's exciting. And then Quan Chi, Ermac, and Takeda will also be available as part of the first DLC combat pack. And then they also revealed 3 additional characters join the roster for the base game. Li Mei, Tanya, and Baraka will appear on the roster. Are you excited?
Very. I don't know if I'm going to get the game, but I'm kind of excited about that DLC.
Dude, it's a great idea. I love that they're doing that. It's just fun. Like, I always like when they have that. Like, I got Mortal Kombat 11. I I got it in like I've been I was telling you I'd go on and I'd do the trades on Reddit on Indie GameSwap or whatever, and I traded for the Mortal Kombat 11 like the ultimate pack. So I got everything, dude. I got it all.
Nice.
And it's all playing on my Steam Deck. It's a giant file, but I'm having a lot of fun just sitting there watching TV and playing this game. But anyways, it's got like the characters, the weird DLC. It's got like the Terminator and Spawn and Rambo. Like that's the cool shit that I love. Like it's just different. There's sure Scorpion, Sub-Zero, whatever, but then you got Rambo up in there, or Homelander, Peacemaker. And then if they get John Cena, back in there as Peacemaker to put some quotes in there or something, I'm probably gonna buy the whole thing. So yeah, I'm excited. I did see that if you pre-order it, there is going to be a beta coming out, and I was like, should I? But no, I'm gonna hold off. Those are games that I never really feel the desire to buy them immediately after they're released, because they'll go on sale for considerable discount like a month later. You can get it for like $30.
And you're not going to miss anything because you play online. You're going to get your ass stomped from day one, stomped from day 2-3 years later.
You are absolutely correct. So yeah, that's very cool. And then another thing announced at San Diego Comic-Con, there's a new Walking Dead game called Walking Dead Betrayal. It's a new survival and social deception game. A new multiplayer game. Have players trying to survive the undead outbreak, where you will craft, cook, survive, and communicate with party members, and maybe do a little bit of deceiving along the way. Betrayal is out later this year and will release exclusively on PC via Steam, and a closed beta test is set for August 10th. So, there you go, dude. That sounds right up your alley, too. Now that I know you like The Walking Dead.
I like Walking Dead, but does this sound kind of like Who Got Bit Among Us?
It does, kind of. I want to know how much the deceiving part factors in. Because if it is like Among Us or whatever, no thanks. But if it's like Walking Dead, like Rust or something like that, that would be pretty tough. So, August 10th, there is a closed beta test. You can get in on that. All right, next up, we got some new info on the game Project L, which was announced in 2019. It's from Riot Games. It's a new fighting game that they've been working on, and it's been pretty radio silent up until just now, and we're getting some information about it. It's based on the characters from League of Legends, and it's a fighting game. But one cool thing that they announced, a very cool game mechanic called duo play. Sean Rivera, the game director, says, one player controls the champ on stage, and the other waits off screen for their teammate to find the right moment to tag them in. So, interesting. I don't know what, if you and I were playing it together, and I'm, just waiting off screen, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just hanging out, I guess, just waiting for you. I'm like, tag me in. I'm just yelling at you. They also says dual play system does not mean you have to play with another person to play the game. Project L will support 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, and even 2 versus 1 fights. They also said that a playable demo will be available to people attending EVO later this year. So, and then in addition to that, they announced 3 characters, Echo, Ari, and Darius, available, and they will be playable at the demo. Is this does this do anything for you? Is it moving anything?
A little bit. I'm not real big into League of Legends. Do you think that's the final name of this, though?
I was just wondering the exact same thing. Is it I don't know. You would think that it's not. This is just the codename, just because it's the Project L.
Project L. But the headlines and the jokes write themselves if this thing flops.
You are absolutely correct. I didn't think of that at all. Yeah. I don't know. It's got to be good, or else, they're definitely gonna regret it for sure. Yeah. And I think Riot Games, they've got a good track record. I don't think they've ever made just a straightforward fighting game before, so that should be interesting. But the duo play thing sounds cool. I like the idea of you just wait for that perfect moment to tag in, But yeah, I don't know how that's going to work if like you need to communicate to tell your partner that like, okay, it's going to happen. Get ready for it, or if just all because I could just see me like just you're playing it or whatever, and I'm just over here like looking at my phone, like waiting to be tagged in, and then all of a sudden I'm tagged in and just getting the shit kicked out of me. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I assume on like a pro level, they got to go like lizard brain in those games. You've got to be like zoned in and zoned out at the same time to know exactly every single button press at the exact frame. So you're going to have to be in tune with your partner so that they know exactly what your combo is doing and when you're going to